Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 30 days reset to calm for a busy mom. I see you. Either you are juggling all the hats in the house, you're working, and you are trying to find that peace and calm in your family, in your environment, again with the kids. So if it's every day is looking like a lot of stress, a lot of yelling and screaming with the kids, and the communication and the connection is kind of gone, this is going to help you reset. So 10 minutes a day, reset to calm. If you're new here, my name is Tasneem Nomani. I'm a parenting coach, and let us dive in. If you haven't seen the previous videos, go ahead and invite you to start from day one. Let me know what is working for you and write it in the comments. And it would be great to connect with you online. I'm also on Instagram, Tasneem K Nomani. All right, let us dive in. Topic is really dear to my heart because this is where I began my journey, and I think it kind of lose sight of these things. These are simple, but really, really important, crucial things that we need to be doing in our lives daily. Okay, so free yourself. We're talking about forgiveness. Okay, so forgiveness is the secret to releasing pressure, and it really deepens your connection as a mom, deepens your connection with Allah, with God, and your relationship with yourself as well. Okay? So I can imagine having just the weight lifted from your shoulders. Okay? When you do this practice, when you start forgiving, you release that guilt. There's no more comparison with other moms, other kids, just freedom to love and grow and enjoy these moments with your kids. Okay, enjoy this moment and watch them grow beautifully. And as the bud grows as a rose. Okay, so we're going to start with forgiveness today. I've driven myself and my boys at many times into exhaustion. Okay, I've got two boys and a young girl now, so now I've learned what things to do and what not to do. So I've kind of let the pressure go off my youngest one a little bit, but I was in that rut of that exhaustion, pushing them to succeed, pushing them to do things that I wanted them to do, what I wanted my dreams to be fulfilled. So I'd push them into sports, I'd push them into whatever that I wanted them to do. And I had these expectations, I wanted to them to be the best in the studies, best in the sports, be adventurous. But everyone has different personalities, right? So if you've ever had that felt that ache of unmet expectations, you're in the right place. That's what we're talking about today. So let's just take a breath here and release the expectations that we have for our children. A really famous psychologist says that when they're born, we create like this movie in our minds about how we want our kids to be: the perfect doctor, the perfect engineer, the perfect life, the perfect kids, etc., etc., etc. So these are our expectations. Okay, what we are here to do is to nurture, to guide them to be better human beings, and get them ready for akhirah. Is that correct? Okay, and we need to let go of the control. All right. So, what is the roots of our expectations? Okay, either we didn't get to fulfill our dreams when we were younger, so we put all this pressure on them. We missed opportunities. We vowed our kids that we would give them everything, or we want them to have it all. Okay, that is the expectations that we have in our minds, and this is pretty deep rooted, right? So we carry the echoes of our past, our parents' hopes, their dreams, maybe our teachers' dreams, our own disappointments. And we kind of project them onto our kids. It starts off as love, that I love you so much. That's why I want you to succeed. That's why I want you to do so much better. But what happens is it just puts so much pressure on them that it often is too much. Okay. And this turns into resentment and guilt. All these things pile up. Okay. So we got to learn to forgive ourselves, forgive our children, forgive our parents, our past. So this may be a little difficult to hear, but in order to free ourselves, okay, so we can parent from an open heart, we need to forgive our past. Okay? We need to forgive our parents. They were doing the best they they could. Okay? They were also learning how to parent with the tools and beliefs they had that were brought down from their generational parenting that was inherited. They weren't perfect. Okay? And no, neither are we, right? So they too were learning along the way, just like we are. So every rule they enforced, every harsh word they said, every way they disciplined, scolded, they acted from their own wounds and their hopes and dreams. Okay? But when we hold on to resentment, we stay locked into their old patterns. The same way they were parenting is the same way we're parenting today. Okay? So I want you to be able to see the parenting, the patterns, and that's why the master your calm guide that I've got in the link below will help you understand where these patterns are coming from, where you're parenting from, what patterns have you adapted, what patterns it's generational, so you have to learn to recognize them and break them so it doesn't happen to your kids as well and they don't parent the same way. All right, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Today, let's break that chain together, okay? I want you to find 5 minutes and at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, just grab a loose sheet of paper and address this to your mom or dad, okay? Write down, dear mom, dear dad, and name one or two things that you learned from their choices, okay? Thank them for what they've done, what they've taught you in your life, but also acknowledge the pain. Okay, I forgive you for disciplining me in this certain way. I forgive you for getting angry at me when you were tired, when you got home from work. Okay, recognize where the hurt is coming from. Okay, if you need help with this personally, I can help you. I release this now so I can parent with an open heart. So you gotta let go of that past. You've gotta let go of those patterns, those emotions. Okay? You don't need to send this letter. You're just writing it down and releasing it from your body. Okay? And you want to either tear it up or crumple it up and throw it away. Okay? This just symbolizes you letting go of those emotions. And this really helps you shift. And it's a great gift of forgiveness for yourself, right? I really hope this is resonating. If you have any questions, if you feel doubtful about what I'm talking about, it's not clear, please let me know. Connect with me on Instagram. I'm in the you can connect me. You can DM me, and we'll have a chat. Okay. All right. Forgiving ourselves as a parent. Okay. Forgiving our mistakes. This is so, so important, and we kind of forget to do this, or maybe we've never done it, okay? So, every mess, every lost temper, every missed opportunity sometimes just feels like a failure, okay? Maybe your kids are getting older now and you feel that I wasn't able to give them everything I wanted when they were kids. But these mistakes are our greatest teachers, right? So when guilt strikes, guilt could sound like all the other moms have it together. Why am I scrambling? Why can't I keep it together? Why are my kids so behind in so and so? I must push them to be better. I must push them harder, and it's all my fault. Okay, and this is so real. Okay, I am so busy. I don't give them enough time. That's why I'm feeling as a mom. That's why they don't respect me. That's why they don't listen to me. That's why da 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 da. Okay? So it's all the guilt, all the resentment that's built up inside of us. So let's just pause for a second here and just place your hand on your heart and say, I forgive myself for getting impatient, for not spending enough time for my kids. Okay, it can sound like I forgive myself for patience, for losing patience when I'm asked the same question 100 times. I forgive myself for the quick convenient meals rather than a homemade dinner. I forgive myself for sleeping in early, and not spending enough time with my kids for their homework. Or I forgive myself for not always meeting the high expectations I set for myself. So just take a breath and just tell yourself, I forgive myself for blank because really I'm trying to do the best I can. Okay? And you are trying to do the best you can, right? I see you. You're here trying to learn, you're trying to understand, you're implementing these things in your life. And that's a huge, huge step. Okay? All right. Lastly, we're talking about teaching forgiveness to our kids, right? They learn by watching us. So when we learn to forgive ourselves, they learn to do that too, right? You'll teach resilience, and you'll teach that not everyone is perfect. You're not perfect, okay? So as you watch your child learn to forgive herself or himself, you're showing them that mistakes aren't shameful, okay? And they're invitations to learn to let go. A quick exercise that you can do is take a balloon and ask them to write what is it that they're not able to forgive. Okay, if they got a bad grade in their school test, let them write them down on a piece of paper and then just let the air flow out of the balloon and tell them, okay, you're releasing it, you're forgiving yourself, and you're letting the emotions release from your body. Okay, the emotions are released, you forgive yourself, and it gets out of the body. It's really important that it doesn't stay in the body and they don't build upon that. Okay, as we talked about in another video, the emotions stay in our body and it starts affecting us emotionally, physically as well. Okay, so it's really, really important to learn to forgive. Okay, all right. Lastly, the ripple effect of forgiveness. You know that this is really, really powerful. It's just not like it can happen one time and you're done forever. You have to go back and forgive the tiny moments of life where you haven't been able to forgive that person. Okay? So when you forgive your parents, yourself, your children, you break that cycle of shame and fear. Okay? And you create a home where growth is celebrated, not punished, and that ripple effect reaches beyond just your home. It is talking about generations. Okay, you're releasing those emotions, releasing that stress, forgiving the past for future generations as well. Okay, so if you're ready to transform that pressure into peace, don't forget to grab the Master Your Calm guide. That the link is in the description box below. I'm also adding another bonus. Okay, for all the people that weren't able to join the workshop I did a couple of months ago, parenting shouldn't be a scream fest. Okay, we go into a lot of detail about each thing, how to communicate with your kids properly, so they listen, how to let go of the guilt, the control, the manipulation. So check it out. The link is in the description below. So let me just talk a little bit about the guide because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. So it's like a sanctuary in your store. Okay, when the emotions arise, you need something to anchor you. Okay, so what I've done, I've created like a journaling prompts. Okay, first, you figure out what those emotions are, what it is that triggered you, and then the journaling prompts are going to be going to help you unpack the daily stress, the emotional triggers. And each page is an invitation to go deeper into emotional mastery without any judgment. No one is judging me, judging you. No one is seeing these journal answers, right? So this is for yourself. And I've done this for myself, and I know it's really, really powerful. That's why I wanted to share with you, so you can understand your triggers, the power of gratitude, and emotional awareness and regulation. All right. So I will see you in the next one. Inshallah, this has been helpful for you. Let me know if any topics have resonated or you'd like me to discuss. If you're having issues with your kids, I can definitely include it in the 30 days. Inshallah, I'll see you next time.